Hello and welcome. I'm Jillian. I'll be your guide today for this class to help provide relief for your upper back, which is great for everybody, but I really designed with all my mom friends in mind. Just the physical demands of being a mom are so great. Picking up kids, car seats, strollers, everything that we do for our children that can result in us kind of rounding our backs more than we would ideally like. So we're going to open our chests, stretch into our upper back, and also do some strengthening work for our shoulders to help counter some of the effects of all the work that we're doing, make it easier, and also to pull our shoulder blades onto our backs. Sound good? All right, so I do have some props here. Let's start with a blanket that's rolled into a taquito shape, so long and thin. And then if you've got a couple of blocks, you might find those handy. I have a bolster that I'm using for one thing at the end, which you don't have to use. The blocks will be great for that. And then a strap and an elastic band might also serve you. But you can do this with none of those things. The blanket, though, I think you can probably locate. So let's come down onto our backs, putting the blanket right where our bra strap would be, and then I'll get my ponytail out of the way. I already feel some of my vertebra going back into place as I recline over this blanket, arms out to the side, and then do whatever feels good with your legs, keeping them bent or straightening into them. Maybe close your eyes and just begin to follow your breath. Feeling the opening in your chest, gentle stretching as you inhale. And if you just want to stay here for the rest of the class, then that's great. You can turn off the video and just rest here for as long as you can. And this is a wonderful thing to do for your upper back. Otherwise, just take a few more breaths here. And then to come out, bend your knees if they're not already, and roll off to the side, whatever side feels good, and bring yourself back up. I could definitely have stayed there for a few more minutes. All right, so now let's come to a wall, and we'll do some things to strengthen our shoulders. So like I was saying, it's really important to keep our shoulders strong because then we're not as likely to injure ourselves with everything, especially in the fronts of our shoulders, with everything that we're doing for our kids. And it also helps pull our shoulder blades onto our back. So find your wall and bring your hands to about chest height, and then step back, leaning your body weight into the wall. So knowing that you can adjust how challenging this is by how far away you are from the wall. And then with your fingertips pointed slightly inwards and your body in a plank position, lower your forehead slowly to the wall. Squeeze your shoulder blades and then slowly push the wall away. So really taking the time to do this, not trying to do as many as you can, just letting the entire middle part of this be the focus. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together when you approach the wall, and really press into the wall as you come away. You can change the orientation of your elbows. If you'd like to do this more like a chaturanga, then you can certainly do that. When your elbows go out to the side, you use your chest muscles a little bit more. So it's up to you what you'd like to work on. Sometimes if we're working into the shoulders, we haven't worked them in a while, then having the added help of our chest can be useful. So finding what works best for you. And then when the last three get pretty challenging, go ahead and pause, take a breath, and you can either resume doing that at the wall, or I'll show you another exercise that you can do if you have a strap and an elastic band. So if you have a strap, oh, there's the band. I got the strap going the length of your mat, and then place the band going perpendicular to the strap on top. Then step onto the elastic band. Of course, elastic bands all have different tensions, and so you'll want to find one that works for you, or sometimes there's like the circular ones, you can use those as well. And then also you'll find what works for you as far as where to hold the strap so that you have enough tension and you're working, but not over or underdoing. So grabbing the straps on either side, the strap on either side, exhale as you draw your shoulder blades together. You're coming down into a squat now, being mindful of not tucking your tailbone under so that you have that natural curve of your low back. And then just pulling your elbows straight back like a rowing motion. Supporting your neck, so gazing a few feet in front of you. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you can do both of these exercises. You can just do the let downs at the wall, just giving you some options of ways to work on strengthening your shoulders using your own body weight and without weights. The shoulders are such an important muscle group, and everything that happens in our arms and our hands generally starts with what's going on in our shoulders. All right, and again, when this gets challenging, the last few, then go ahead and pause, rest. That one's kind of like a double whammy because you get a nice little exercise for your glutes too. All right. So I'm going to untangle my strap and show you something else you can do to help bring your shoulders onto your back. So bringing your strap into both hands with making fists, bringing the back of your hands facing forward. And then find yourself in Tadasana. So 2/3 of your weight in your heels, outer edges of your feet lined up with the outer edges of your mat, inner thighs spiraling behind you so that you have a natural curve of your low back. And then as you exhale, bring the strap away from your bum. And then inhale, bring it back. So resisting the urge to maybe back bend. Doesn't matter how far away you can bring your strap. We're just focusing on that contraction of your shoulder blades with the breath. All right, so there's something else that you can do. And now let us stretch into our chest. So coming to the wall, facing the wall, bring your left hand out to the left on the wall, so your palms on the wall, and then inhale, open up to your right. So now your hips are square to the wall that you're facing. And just feel the stretch across the front of your chest and your shoulder. Breathe, again, not back bending into this. And then play with leaving the heel of your hand on the wall and just lifting up your fingertips. Notice how that feels. And then walk your hand up the wall, lingering anywhere that feels like maybe there's a bit more sensation. Soften your gaze or close your eyes if you feel balanced. And just pay attention to all the little sensations you experience on your way to walking your hand up the wall. Maybe really reaching through the fingertips as you approach the top. And then you can either walk your hand back down or just release your arm. And then take a moment, pause, notice how you feel. Notice how the left arm feels in comparison to the right. And then we'll switch sides. So now bringing your other arm out to the side. Sorry that my back is towards you now, squaring off your hips to the wall in front of you here. Just taking a moment or two to feel that opening of your chest, leaving the heel of your hand on the wall as you lift your fingers, if that's something that feels okay to you. And then making your way slowly up the wall. You can always change your distance away from the wall too if you feel like you're too close. You definitely don't want to be right up against the wall. This just, to me, feels really, really good, and like I'm noticing things and feeling things that in my everyday actions I don't. Eventually making your way all the way up to the top. And if it doesn't feel good to walk all the way up to the top, then just stop wherever it does feel okay and release when it feels right to you. All right, so now coming with your back to the wall, bring your arms into a cactus shape, and we're going to move our arms up and down the wall with the intention of keeping our forearms as close to the wall as we can, even if they're not touching. So inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you lower your elbows and squeeze behind the shoulder blades. So try not to arch your back. Keep that Tadasana stance. Feet hip-width distance apart. And not leaning back into the wall, but the back of your head is pressing into the wall. Your lower ribs are moving in the direction of the wall. Really reach up. Don't try and hold your shoulders down as you reach up. As you come up, reach like you're trying to get the cookies off the top shelf. Do a few more of those. If it feels like this is really challenging to do, then you can also try wedging a block behind your head and stepping a little bit away from the wall, and then you might feel like you have a little bit more freedom without being right up against the wall. All right, so just that really helps with getting the full rotation of our shoulder blades on our back. All right, so now let's come back down onto the floor and take some upper back bends. I'll show you a version of camel that I really enjoy. I learned it in prenatal and I still do it now because it just feels really nourishing and not like it puts too much stress in my low back. So putting your two blocks on their side. I'm kind of short, so I keep mine on the mid height, but you might want yours on the taller height. Also depends on how how big you are able to make a back bend. We're all different. So putting your legs underneath and putting your hands on the bolster, lifting up from your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades as you press into the bolster, and then your head can stay up or you can bring it back. And then to come up, bringing your hands to your hips, lifting your chest, head comes up last. If you don't have a bolster, then but you do have blocks, then you can also give yourself a more gentle camel just by placing your fingertips on the blocks, bringing them to the outsides of your feet, pressing your fingertips into the blocks, inhaling your chest up, and coming back this way. But I think it's a bit more, it feels a bit better than trying to go all the way back to your ankles. All right. I think that feels pretty good to me. I hope it feels good to you. I will leave you with a closing chest opener that I encourage you to linger in for as long as you can. You can come back to the one with the blanket roll like we did in the beginning of the class, or you can set your blocks up. So this first block will go lengthwise, the same place that the blanket did, and then the block behind it will be for your head. And you can, if you've got the blocks, maybe you want to keep the blanket for something underneath your knees. But coming back, adjusting, I actually prefer mine on the mid setting, but try what works for you. Find something that feels like you can relax for a little while and enjoy this chest opener. And just change whatever you need to if it doesn't feel comfortable enough. You definitely don't want the block under your shoulders too low. So when you do need to come out, roll off to your side and use your hands to help push you up. I hope you enjoyed those different movements for your shoulders and that hopefully you feel a bit more open now. And those are just some great things to keep in your toolbox as a mom when you need some relief from doing all the things that moms do. Thank you for being here with me today. Namaste.